Good morning. So today's topic is about the open fracture, how to classify it and how to manage the open fracture. So the outline is we'll read it about through the following topics: the definition, classification, management and complications. So what is the definition of open fracture? A broken bone that is in communication through the skin with the environment. Okay. So it is classified by the Gastillo and Anderson. It is based on the size of the wound, the amount of the soft tissue injury, presence and absence of neurovascular injuries and degree of contaminations. So the type 1 is, see the diagram, the type 1, the wound is less than 1 centimeter and it looks clean and very minimally contaminated and soft tissue injury. The type 2 is the laceration is more than 1 centimeter in diameter, moderate soft tissue damage, no flap, degloving or contusions. Then the fracture pattern may be more complex and moderate contamination will be there. Type 3, an open segment fracture or a single fracture with extensive soft tissue injuries, also included are injuries older than 8 hours. So the wound will be more than 10 centimeter, highly contaminated, usually comminuted, and then the type 3 is again subdivided into type 3A, 3B and 3C. So what is type 3A? The 3A is severe soft tissue injuries. Adequate soft tissue coverage of the fracture is likely despite high energy trauma or extensive laceration or skin flaps. Okay. So type 3B is inadequate soft tissue coverage with periosteal stripping. As you can see the bone here, the periosteal has been stripped, and the soft tissue reconstruction surgeries is always advisable in these cases. The associated vascular injury, type 3C is associated with the vascular injury that require repair and reconstructive surgery for skin coverage. So how to manage it and what is the management aim? First we have to prevent the infection, then ensure the fracture healing and restore the function of the bone and joint. How we can do it? First give analgesia for the pain relief, and if any fluid and blood loss is there, then replace it. Do the splinting of the fracture, give antibiotics, tetanus prophylaxis, take photos of the wound, then clean the wound, debride it and cover, then do the surgical debridement and stabilize the fracture. So which antibiotic has to be used? According to the studies, use of antibiotic had a prospective effect against early infection. Compare with no antibiotic or placebo. So the IV antibiotic amoxiclav 1.2 gram TDS until first debridement. If penicillin allergic, then for clindamycin 600 mg QDS. At induction of the anesthesia, you can also prefer the gentamicin 1.5 milligram per kg plus teicoplanin 800 mg or vancomycin 1 gram. Post-operatively, you have to continue the IV augmentin 1.2 gram TDS. Now what is the timing for debridement? So they have done a studies in which 27 tibial fracture was taken. So the initial debridement is better if you do it before 5 hours of the injury, then the infection rate is less. If you do it after 5 hours, then the infection rate can increase to 38%. Okay. So according to BOA and BAPRAS guidelines, the lower limb open fracture 2009, within 24 hours, if solitary open fracture, then by senior plastic surgeon and ortho surgeon on schedule list have to manage it. However, immediately if gross contamination, compartment syndrome, devascularization limb and multi-injury patient, then we have to manage it immediately. What are the complications of open fracture? The first one is wound infection, then it can lead to osteomyelitis. The fracture can lead to non-union, tetanus infection then can also injure the neurovascular structure and the compartment syndrome. So what is the risk of infection? According to Sorger 1999, grade of the open fracture, that is 1, 2 and 3. Risk of infection in 1 is 0 to 12%, in type 2 is 2 to 12%, and in type 3 is 9 to 55%. Okay, thank you.